think my arm's broke. So good.
Oh, I'm throwing your tape and Sam's tape in the bin. So
The tape.
the
tape.
Right, should we make a start?
Let's do it. Yep.
Cool. Okay. Good evening, folks, and welcome to another episode of the 01206 Book Club. 4 episodes in. It's been fun. It's been wild. There's lots of stuff being kind of said, being talked about, and we've had lots of interaction with those of you who are actually bothered to listen to it. What we're going to do is this evening we're going to kind of change tact a little bit, and we're going to start a little segment called Local Legends. Every scene that all of us have grown up in, every scene around the country always has that kind of key figure, that local legend that people look up to, that people are influenced by, that people probably have lots of stories about. So tonight what we're going to do is celebrate those local legends and just recall some stories from our background, kind of talk about legends from the local area, the 01206, 01473, do you know what I mean? All those different areas around this in East Anglia. We're just going to talk about some of those legends that meant something to us or still do mean something to us. So that's the plan. I want to start it off. I'm going to kind of just talk about someone who's really inspirational to me, and we're just going to chat about him. I'm sure everyone knows this guy as well. But what I started thinking about when thinking about this episode was this whole myth of the local legend that, like I said, we've all got one, but what makes a local legend? What is that thing that kind of makes us all remember these people? Is it nostalgia? That was one thing I wanted us all to talk about, is this idea of nostalgia. Is it about remembering a certain place, a certain skater at that place? Is it about a person? Is it about a particular trick done at a spot? There's lots of legends, lots of different ways of looking at this. So one thing is nostalgia, one thing is the tricks that might have happened to make this person a legend, but also one thing might be that mutual respect that that person has or you have for them and stuff like that. So it's something I just want to kind of discuss this evening. My local legend is a man you all know, hopefully, along your travels, is Joey Binks.
Yeah. Holla!
Yeah. We all know Joe. He is just a dude who, just for me, typifies that kind of guy in a scene who's just fully hyped the whole time. He's just there. He's not one of these guys who's, and I'm sure you'll all agree with me, and he won't mind me saying this, he's not the most gifted on a skateboard. He actually works really hard to get it. He's kind of all over the place sometimes, flailing about, doing lots of crazy stuff, often stressing out and throwing his shoes and stuff like that, I seem to remember. Do we all remember a good Binks stress out?
Oh,
hundreds of them, yeah. They're the best time.
But he was one of those guys at a session, and this is the thing, you can always count on a guy like that. He was always there to motivate you, always there to really get you kind of infused, excited. For me, I kind of skated with him lots and lots. We hung out loads, and we just always get spots together, always do things together. I'm going to share just a couple of clips of Joe with you. I'm sure you've all got your own kind of stories if you did meet him or did know him as well. I'm talking like he's dead. He's not. He's definitely fully alive. And this is not a memorial episode. Binks is still with us, hollering at people as he goes down the street, left, right and centre. So I'm just going to share a quick video with you guys, and let me just get that queued up for you. Does everyone here know Binks though, or come across him at any point?
I don't think so.
You, Carl, you never got to meet the pure power that was the Binks.
I see the footage, I might recognise him, but I don't recognise the name.
I don't know, he's one of those guys who's always pretty low-key in the background, but I seem to remember him being around all the time during that kind of 2000s, kind of early 2000s, definitely, like everywhere. Binks was there.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
We talked about him meeting Stevie Williams the other day. That was one of the pinnacles. Baron, you were there for that, weren't you?
Yeah. He was shitting himself, to put it lightly. He was just.
He was so excited about it. He was so excited about it.
We're the same.
He did try and pull the brothers from different mothers line. It didn't work out for Joe. Definitely not. So, I'm just going to share, like I said, a little clip of Joe now.
It's technically true.
It is
Yeah.
definitely, it is technically true. But
Anything's possible now.
Yeah, get him on a technicality.
No.
So guys, can you see this here? This is some footage of Joe here.
Yep.
That spot.
That spot. That is
Yeah.
not a spot again.
No.
But Jolyon was one of those guys, like you say, he's not particularly proficient. He would take him a long time to do things. Sometimes actually he'd be like bang on it and just land everything and just, do you know what I mean? Just be really surprising at how like consistent he was. Other times he just had that day and his board would be flying around or near you or something like that.
Yeah.
But he
I
was
love the
rad.
fact the circus that they really remind me of Binks of the circus he wore.
301s.
Yeah.
They're 301s, is that what they
Yeah.
are?
And the
That's
201s,
it, yeah.
isn't it?
That classic grey and blue colour, the grey, black,
Yeah.
and blue.
Yeah, the Jensen one I call
They're
it.
the 201s. Oh, geek out.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, why did everyone have those? Were they just really popular at that
they
time?
were brilliant to skating. They were so
Yeah,
good.
felt really
Yeah,
nice.
they were
Look,
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Look.
we've got some good Colchester spots here. The Leisure World kicker, well not really
Yep.
kicker, slope. This is Colchester Institute, like just a shit
Slight
sliding
incline.
yeah, sliding climb. Heroin alley, that's perfect. There.
Yeah.
Hippodrome blocks as well. That's the top block. Those. Then Sam,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were talking about those bottom blocks, but that top block
Yeah.
got everyone's skating.
Yeah, that was sort of earlier, wasn't it? That a lot of people did stuff on that. I was in
What?
all the meathead videos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the top one, yeah. That was
Yeah.
because you used to not get that much hassle there. Now all those kids hang out there, don't they, next to McDonald's? But you
There's
can
also
actually
a pop-up
skate.
loo.
What's that?
So there's
Pop-up loo there now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Pop Lou, what's that?
It's all, the ground's really rough there now as well.
Is it?
Yeah, all the paving slabs are all popped up and
Oh shit!
well, it was last
that's because
time
of the
I went
pop up
through
loo.
there. Yeah,
But Binks used
they're
to,
just covering it.
Binks used to localise that spot though. We'd go there on the high street, and you get lots of drunks, lots of people coming through that high street. It's quite busy.
Yeah.
He would just be mixing it in with everyone. And the thing is, what's really cool about him is that he knew everyone from every walk of life. Not like
Yeah.
he didn't just know skaters. You'd be walking down the street and people were like, "Yeah, what's up, Binks?"
Yeah.
And you just go, "How does he know
Well,
these people?"
Well, he worked in retail all this part of his life, didn't he?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so therefore he known all the town lot. It was always that.
Yeah,
Going back to that first trick of the front nose with the kicker to bump.
yeah.
I feel like there's an era of Colchester skating which Binks was heavily involved in, where we all just built kicker to grind box.
Why
Everyone
was
was
that a
different.
thing?
I
Why
don't
was
know.
that a thing? Early 2000, everyone just
Yeah.
built kickers to things. Like,
Yeah. And everyone was different. Some were perfect, not many of them, and some were just you had to watch out for that lip. And if you were that one person that caught the lip and went boom into it, it was the worst slam. But Binks did that for the nose slide really quick. I remember that really well. He did that really
did that
quickly.
really
And
quick.
like you
It
say,
was a
some
long
were quick,
day as
some were-
well. Long day of just like
I think
not doing
loads of people
anything.
got tricks on that.
Yeah, it's right. But those
Brilliant.
sort of spots, that's the thing. That everyone's got those in the scenes. That's just a barrier propped up down some stairs and things like that. But it's just the fact is he would skate anything as well. He wouldn't whinge about anything. He'd always just be on it and just be like trying, always running a gold chain constantly as well.
Oh yeah, with his
Someone
full
like
escort.
Elizabeth Duke, like fucking gold chain or something. You know, we were talking about coloured trucks as well. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at all these clips. Look at all these clips. Not a silver truck in sight. This guy, black trucks,
black.
gold
Yeah.
trucks, blue trucks. Like on the
Yeah.
who skates blue trucks? Like
Blue
seriously, that's just. I'm out. But rad dude, totally rad.
Yeah.
Just like one of those guys
Yeah.
that hypes you up. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
right.
And
man.
he was always hyped on your tricks as well as his. That was the best thing
Exactly.
about skating with
Yeah.
Binks. Yeah.
It's the
Always
flavour of Colchester.
Yeah.
That is it. We found
Yeah.
the metaphor, the flavour flav of Colchester High Street.
I'll go with that. That sounds
That
good.
is
to me.
solid. That is solid.
Yeah.
But Cole, you never met him.
Nah. Well, I moved to
Yeah.
Bristol in '99.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Did
shit.
you?
Yeah.
so
99, bloody hell.
Oh, you would have missed out. You missed out on a lot of Colchester scene at that time. But you were around. You were back and forth. I'm sure you were.
yeah, I was kind of back in the summertime the first couple of years that I lived in Bristol.
Yeah.
But yeah, never.
Never had the pleasure. Never had the pleasure.
Nah.
Artie, where did you see him skating?
I'm over at Ipswich or Colchester. Yeah, and
Yeah.
through Hoax, I think, as well. And I
Yeah.
think a couple of things. I can't remember. I know Adam Mondon was there. There was some ramps in.
Oh, I know. At the what was it? Mercury Theatre.
Yes,
Yeah,
Oh,
and
what
we all
was
went for
that?
beers
Yeah.
over the road.
yeah. Really random event where they made ramps on the stage.
Yeah,
What?
And there was like music going on and like theatre and stuff, and we were there to like skate at the same time with like an
What the
audience.
hell?
Was that a
Me-
dust,
me
was that a dust
Starkey-
demo?
I think so.
Lee Starkey
Yeah,
came up.
Oh
I think
my
he was
God.
there. I think he was there.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because we were getting beered up in the pub over the road.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. Who
He
put it
loved the
together.
beer as well. He loved the beer,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So he'd always be down for the party. He'd always be down for beers, definitely afterwards. So. That's right. But so he's a legend for me just because of all those things, those factors of like always being there for other people, hyped on everyone else's trick. Do you know what I mean? Not just his own. He'd always be looking out for like what other people were doing as well. I think he really looked after the youngers as well, like all the kids and everything like that. No one would mess with you. Do you know what I mean? And if anything ever kicked off, Binks was always there, just like, no, mate, like, it's not happening. And just be in that situation and just help you out like that. So that's rad. It's rad that it's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's rad I got to skate with him all that time and everything, but it's sick just watching old footage of him again. So cool.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, there's my local legend. That's
Good
my
shout.
kind of, cheers. thank
Liked it. Yeah.
that's my sort of take on the local legend. Let's move on. Carl, you've got a kind of a different take on yours. Mine was a bit kind of more newer. Yours is a bit more classic, a bit more age to it, a bit more kind of back in the day sort of situation.
Bit more flavour.
Bit more flavour. Okay. Well, he's the flavour of Colchester. Are you bringing the flavour of Ipswich then to us?
Yeah.
I'm going to regret saying that. Sorry.
You are. Yeah. He's going to find you.
So I'm going to find some of your pictures to illustrate this, and then you can kind of go for it. Oh, hold on, give me 1 second. Technical issues. Okay, cool. So this guy, well, you can introduce him. Can you see that photo? Is that big enough?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this guy name's Dan Macaulay. He's like only skated for about 3 or 4 years, but like he was pretty damn good. Like he's from like Starkey's neck of the woods. So like
Whereabouts is that? Sorry, whereabouts is that?
like in Suffolk, like from Sutton.
Sutton who? Is that the place?
Yeah,
or?
I think that's the one. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Right, there's nothing there.
that's where Vikings come from, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't there a Viking boat buried there? or
yeah, there's a
something like that?
burial.
He's got
ground,
Vikings
isn't
blood.
there?
It's Viking
There
blood,
is.
nice.
Like in 1 foot, but yeah.
Yeah, Viking 1 foot. That is a 1 foot, definitely.
Bionic.
1 foot tailgate.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic trick.
Especially with that run up. I don't know why we ever skated that drop because
Yeah.
it's basically
Yeah.
6 run up. And
There's
that's it.
hardly anything, is there?
But it's not flush, is it? You would have to ollie on, wouldn't you, to do it? Or
No, we used to just stand up in queue and you just jump on it.
I love the queue. Yeah. The
Oh,
queues
wow.
are brilliant.
How very British.
so how much older is he to you then?
Well, he's my age. We were
Oh,
same
really?
school year. So like, back then I think this was 1990. So like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
What board's he running? Can you remember what board he's running?
I think
trivia.
actually, I think if you got the other photo with him doing the airwalk.
No, I've got the I haven't got the airwalk. I've got the impossible.
All right, okay, but that's pretty good.
Yeah,
See,
that's right.
see Frank in the background?
Is that same day?
Yeah. Do you see Frank in the background in the white t-shirt?
Mini Frank.
Oh, he's
Oh,
tiny.
Jesus.
Who are the two dudes? Blue shirt, white hat. Do you know them? Or
I think that might be me in the blue shirt.
oh, is it?
Don't know.
Sick.
Is
And
that in the red?
Ben Gisby in the red.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Blimey, that's a name I've known for ages.
Yeah.
So why this dude?
Vaguely remember him.
Why this dude?
Good photo, I
Carl?
like that.
It's
Well,
amazing.
like, because he was just like similar age as well, but it was like when we first all started going into town and skating, like there was a couple of people that were always like him, Julian, and another guy called Sean, that were always kind of like, I don't know, always learning, but always like styly doing it. And yeah, and like had pop. And yeah, he was just, I don't know, just pretty fucking good. And he always had the worst boards as well. Like
just dogged up, isn't it? Those wheels and everything.
Yeah, because I don't know what, maybe boards were weaker, but everyone used to break boards all the time. And then he'd always, have hand-me-downs or whatever, like shoes were always falling apart. But yeah, he was
ripping.
Yeah.
So why is he a legend though to you? Why does that kind of like, why is that something? Just because of those reasons that he was always there, just like hitting.
Yeah, he always pushed everything. You know, if someone done something really good, like he'd follow up and do something better, but not out of spite or anything. Just just
that nice camaraderie, that kind of like pushing each other, that kind of, we talked about it before, that almost competitiveness, but not, you're just trying to kind of motivate people to move.
Yeah, and you can see like everyone in the background, it's kind of like, it was, you know, you'd skate a spot and everyone would be skating the same part of the spot at that time.
Yeah.
You know, it was before maybe people got a bit more creative and skated sort of other spots. So so you'd see what everyone was doing probably more.
Oh, what you're talking about? A whole crew being at a spot and everyone's trying to put stuff down
and skating the same obstacle. So yeah, he was. Yeah,
that pushes the challenge, doesn't it? When you're all skating the same thing and you're all trying to not necessarily one up, but you're trying to like learn as you're going along as well. It's a motivating factor, isn't it? If people are doing stuff and landing stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
You get that quite a lot at scenes, though, don't you? Where someone comes up who's sort of short-lived, skating wise, anyway. They're just about for a few years, but they absolutely destroy it, and then they just disappear.
Yeah,
and they're just like, where's that? Where they're gone? What I mean is, they get amazing, and they just stop for whatever reason in life that happens.
And then you usually get amazing at something else.
Just generally,
naturally talented.
Yeah.
He always had the ability to. You do a melon, he would tweak his melons more than everybody else, not to prove himself, just that's how he did
extra bit.
He just had that extra bit on all the grabs. I remember seeing or going to Romford, and he was doing melancholies over the bin they always had out.
Oh yeah.
The big bank where you go in, out the big bank the other side. And he was doing melons and like his front foot, the knee would be on the board. Maybe that tweaked,
Yeah.
And it's like, and I think we all went up for the Santa Cruz demo in 92?
91.
91?
Yeah.
And he was doing it in a packed park. He was getting in there and just
mixing it up.
Mixing it up. And we're like,
that's my dude.
Yeah, that's it. When it's your guy, you do get hyped, don't you? You kind of live vicariously through them. Oh shit, they're killing it. Like, I know that dude. You know?
I mean, I don't know if it's ironic. I don't know if Carl knows, but Dan is actually a policeman now.
Oh, really?
How is he?
Yeah, he's a policeman. Yeah, his name cropped up on my Facebook page the other day because somebody who I know is a police woman, and she's obviously friends with him.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
There's that little bit of interaction, and it comes up on your feed. You're like,
wow,
truly.
Oh. Why did he stop skating? Did
that's
anyone
what I was
know?
going to say. Why did he quit?
I don't know.
Met some girl.
I think it was.
Became an estate agent, I think, for a while.
Yeah, he did.
I
Didn't
don't know.
Don't trust those guys.
Don't trust estate agents.
Awful folks.
Really good. But yeah, I remember like
Offended everyone.
Like last year at school, we'd meet up. Like he'd get the 8 o'clock bus into town in the morning, and then we'd just skate all day till the night time, whatever. And that whole summer, like he was just really good, incredible. Yeah, I think he was either the first or the second person to do Crample's handrail as well. Like,
oh yeah, you sent me a photo. I haven't got that here. The board slide down there. Is that him as well?
Yeah, but that was like he never used to skate stairs. So like he'd done the handrail like for years before he even ollied the stairs. Like he found it safer, like easier, like to to hit the rail rather than step.
Nuts.
I always, do you guys find this in those old photos of like in sort of 91, 92, that kind of period, when people are skating handrails, they're ollieing on so high up the handrail though. Have you ever noticed that? Like the people ollie now out to handrails.
Frankie Hill.
Yeah, and they'd ollie up to the handrail and start right at the top of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so gnarly.
So where was this in Dan's 4-year? Skate?
Probably right in the middle, I guess.
Online.
Like I remember he must have quit probably early '92, but like this is 1990, I reckon, maybe early '91, but probably '90. But yeah, he was just always, don't know.
Yeah.
Doing the trick of the time, that backflip
Killing it.
impossible.
Oh yeah.
Is that what it is in backflip impossible?
Yeah.
So good. Classic.
It's a good photo. It's a good photo. I like it.
Yeah, for like a non-professional sort of. I like that fact it's still got all the nice compositional quality.
Yeah, this was Tim Brown. He was the only one like taking photos back then. Like, before Starkey came along, like Tim was the only one that was taking photos basically. But,
oh, cool.
Nice.
What with the fish? Is it with a fisheye or anything?
I don't know if this is, but he definitely had a fisheye.
Yeah, it looks curved at the top.
Yeah, it's got to be, isn't it?
It's got to be a curve.
But yeah, because Tim's a few years older than us, so he's skating a while, always travelling around, but he was really good photographer. So
shout out Tim, Tim, nice.
What was Tim's nickname? I couldn't remember.
Chinny,
that's it.
Chinny. Oh, nicknames are amazing. We should talk about nicknames in a scene, like all the ones I can't even. Do you know what I mean? There are probably hundreds of
ridiculous,
like crazy, inappropriate nicknames as well.
Yeah, not to be put on the internet.
Yeah, probably not to be put out there. Yeah, definitely. Okay, Carl, thanks for that, brother.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to skate with him. He only had a very short-lived time of skating, but it looks rad. Do you know what I mean? That one foot is crazy.
He'd have definitely, like, if he'd have stayed with it, he would have definitely got sponsored without doubt. He was
one of those guys.
Super good, but. Yeah,
right.
Left his mark on the Ipswich scene.
Cool.
Well, that's the thing. That is one of the hallmarks of a local legend, isn't it? Do they leave their mark? Do people remember them, even if they had that short-lived period?
Yeah, exactly.
People remember them years and years later. So let's move on. Let's carry on with another local legend. Let's go back 01206 way. Sanj, should we have a look at your choice?
Yeah.
I'm going to bring him up. I've got a couple of things here. Oh, did that just switch over?
Yeah.
Have you got sound?
No.
No sound.
That's fine.
Oh, don't worry.
Oh.
I'm just going to stop the share for a
So
second.
high up on there.
Let me just stop the share just for a second. Just so I can
Stop teasing us, Dave.
Sorry. It's technical issues. It's all very difficult at my end. You lot get the easy part, just talking. I get to talk.
You say you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You say that's the easy part.
Try sitting here listening to you, God.
Oh, cheers. Okay, I'll put you on the spot in a minute. Don't worry.
Oh, God.
He's not a legend.
No.
What, Varen?
But the worst episode ever. Come on.
You were the guinea pig.
He was the test subject. Okay, cool. So we've got some clips. Sanj, go for it, brother. You talk about it.
So this is Sam Wright. I don't know if many of you know him. He's a local legend from Colchester scene. He's been at it since the mid '80s, I think, and still going at it now.
Yeah.
In his late 40s, still ruling.
Yeah.
How many years is it? It must be, because he was saying to me the other day, 88, 89, I think, maybe a start
I'm
time.
sure he started well before that.
Really?
Because he's got that Instagram with all his old photos in '89, and they're all him and Jack Randall and that, another legend.
Yeah.
They're all just on it, just destroying
everything,
Romford and anything in their path, really.
Yeah,
so they must have been skating for a while before that. But yeah, I'll always remember Sam coming down to the ramp in Sudbury, where we were still learning how to rock fakie and 50-50 without ending up on the platform during your first start. And he'd come along and he'd turn up with people like Munson and Jamie Shaw, and he'd be busting head high melancholies to fake it.
I remember that.
Yeah, and like the early grab, his early grabs were just so big, weren't they?
Yeah, so now he gets away with an early grab.
Yeah, and puts height on it as well.
Yeah, and just all done with grace and finesse.
Yeah.
And humility.
Yeah.
It's not one to kind of
brag about it, is
trumpet.
it? No.
But that second clip, I don't know. Yeah. There's some of you may not have skated that spot, but a lot of us Colchester a lot have.
Well, the first clip is Loading Bay, isn't it?
Yes.
That right?
Yeah, I think it is. Must be, mustn't it?
And the second.
And this is Royal London. So, you can just
the bad side, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the skatable
side. The brick at the top of the bank there. You shouldn't be able to wall ride up that.
No. Well, you can get onto it, but getting back in is a different story.
It's just crazy. It's just like
it sticks out a proper brick width out of the wall there. So maybe getting on might be okay, but yeah.
Well, everyone's, round the other side, everyone's grinding the brick bit that's sticking out. So it's got to be quite sizable to lock into a trick there. And he's just fully jolting up there.
They don't get above it.
Huh?
To get up to that brick at the top wasn't straightforward. Like, that's not really a transition or a bank. It's like...
Good point. Yeah.
Not a spot.
It is quite brutal to skate.
It's really brutal on your body. Like, as you hit into it, it jars you. You're jarred into it.
Yeah.
Then he's adding another bit of jarring on top.
And the brick looks good. That's actually quite slippery. So if you go a bit of an angle on that to get up there, you would actually slip out. Like it's.
But I mean, this is the thing about local spots just being kind of legendary. The angle for that is that's like a pavement width, and so he's got to carve into it to get to it anyway. To go up forward to actually then carve and do a wall ride. It does. I think the thing that with Sam, he defies. You talked about his early grabs. He defies physics quite well. He's one of those
just sort of floats into stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Just kind of.
It's even this. Look at this. It's like there's probably people there. Maybe they're hitting it. Look how high that wall ride is. That little kicker. It's just like bang.
Yeah. And he's grabbing it on the wall, isn't he?
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's just crazy.
He's nearly over on that bloody box on the wall.
Yeah, it's good. That was because I was really young when I first met him. But that's the first thing I remember of him as being that weird, quirky one who used to do stuff like this, and it was always like, oh, that's different, and we were intrigued by that. Yeah. And especially at Loading Bay, he was always the one doing some shit there, like finding. Well, it wasn't really a spot, but you know what I mean, finding something else to do rather than a drop.
Yeah, definitely.
Different way to hit it.
Yeah. But even the other day, like Sandy said, he's still going strong. He's still killing it. He's still out there as much as he was, do you know what I mean, back in the day. And even when we went to a spot the other day with him, and we're all just skating around flatland, just being old dudes. And then I can just hear this, basically like a car hitting a brick wall, and it's Sam just trying to wall ride this, like a wall that isn't. You wouldn't wall ride it. He just wouldn't bother. Like, he's one of those guys who just smashes himself into things. He's just
don't bother.
I think he's just interested in like if stuff's possible, and I think that makes someone legendary. It's just like, oh, what if you could do that? What if you could do that? Like, I think that challenge makes the myth, doesn't it? Like because people will talk about it years later. Like, so this is when's this? Like, this is.
I don't know when it
2002, 2002 maybe.
Yeah, about then, I suppose.
Yeah, I've made it a bit later, but even then, we're still talking about it now. I still drive past that, and I've skated Royal London loads. I still drive past it and think, fuck, how do you do that?
What video is these clips from?
One of I think it's John Lake's video.
What was it? Yeah. Oh, Prima Facie. Yeah.
Prima Facie, that's it.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was, but it's rad, isn't it?
Yeah, the whole section's rad, actually.
Yeah, there's other
I haven't
bits
seen it for ages, and I saw it a couple of days ago. And
I'll try and get some clips and put it on the Instagram.
Yeah, that's a good video. Yeah.
He's had a bit of everyone in that, didn't he?
Shout out John Lake.
Yeah.
Let's try and get him back. Get us a digital copy of that. That'd be rad.
Yeah, that'd be a shout. Yeah.
His Instagram's really good as well. The amount of photos he's taken over the years. I said to him, the amount he's documented over
Sam.
30 years. Yeah, Sam. Yeah. It's amazing you've got that many photos back in late 80s.
What's the handle for it?
Olden Board.
Olden Board, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. But
Nice.
The amount of photos over the years, not many people have that. It's pretty cool.
I follow him.
That's right.
I follow him on Instagram. He always puts loads of stuff of Romford in the pig shed as well.
Loads of pig shed all up in there, like, and stuff from Rad and stuff. Like, he's collected, like, he's like a curator of Colchester history a little bit, isn't he?
It's amazing, the amount of stuff he's got.
But he's there from the start. He's part of that pig shed posse group.
Yeah.
Munson and Justin and Jamie Shaw and all that lot.
Mason and people like that.
Yeah, and he come up with them, and he was
Tom
as good
Green
as some of the
well.
ones that were getting sponsored at the time, like Jamie Shaw.
Yeah.
But I don't know, he's just kind of Sam, isn't it? It's just chilling.
But that's the
in
thing.
The background, destroying everything.
Exactly. The hallmarks of a local legend, the dude in the background. Like you said, he used to come down to Sudbury and it would be him, Munson, and a few other people who I probably couldn't place in a lineup nowadays. But I always remember them being really aloof and being like, oh, these are the dudes, these are the guys. And they had that air about them. But Sam never had that quality. He was just like I say, just chilling in the background, would always talk to you, would always kind of show you the time of day. And I think when you're a little kid, and these rippers are just give you that opportunity to have a chat with them, and it means so much it meant so much to me as a kid, like just being able to just feed off that kind of like knowledge and history, and they knew everyone and stuff like that. And
definitely.
But I think that's part of that legendary status, isn't it? Someone who gave back to lots of generations of people. I think that's one of the things that kind of, do you know what I mean? It looks out for people, tries to connect people, all that kind of stuff. So
Sam, you used the word humility for him, and I think that is something that you see across people you consider legends. Is they do have this level of humility about them. They're not really thinking too much about what they're doing, but they're thinking about others as well, and they're just kind of part of it and doing it for the fun of it and loving it, and that really translates in the way someone skates, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
They're really binding as well. They bring people together. They're like a glue in a scene, aren't they? They bring people, and I think that we've talked about other people in other episodes have that quality, but the legend or the myth of the legend in the local area always has that kind of enigmatic quality where you don't know everything about them. You don't know what they've done previously as well, because some of the stuff, like with Sam, I'm always surprised when I see like a photo or something else. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know you could do them as well. That's amazing. The guy you never want to play in a game of skate, those are the dudes, aren't they?
Yeah.
The legends. Who would just bust out something, you're just like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah. No comply, boneless, pressure flip.
The pressure flip guy, that's the one.
Yeah.
He skated so fast as well. That's my memory of Sam, is coming down the park,
hacking,
straight away getting on his board and just like zipping round it like a greyhound and like not stopping. And he's like, right, I'm done, see ya.
Yeah,
just get it all out of the way really quickly.
Yeah.
Short window. He just went like just.
Makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah, good shout, Sandy.
Good shout, Sam.
Good shout.
Yeah, definitely a legend there. So cool. So let's move on a bit there. Let's go sort of midway through our history a little bit. Rich, do you want to kind of share yours with us?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so which image do you want first, Rich?
You can bring them both up if you can.
Oh, I can only do one at a time, mate. So.
It's not that good. It's not that good.
We need Ganella
testing him.
It's dad cam completely.
Yeah, it ties in to the time. There he is, Franklin Stevens.
Wow, look at that crowd with Frank. That is an unusual scene for Frank to be involved in.
All there for Frank.
And right there with his hands in the air is the Starkey.
Is that him?
Starkey.
Yep.
Wow, Starkey. That's rather fun.
Yep.
Starkey.
Yeah, well, it's basically him skating Radlands at the '99 World Champ, European Champs, whatever it was called.
Was it World Champs at then? I think it would have been
or
World.
British Champs. British Champs.
Were those things regulated? Sorry to interrupt. Were those things regulated, or was it just like these are the British champs, or were they officially the British champs?
That one might have been. It was the last one. It was 99, the last one. There hadn't been one the year before. 97 had been at Wembley, and before that,
G97.
Insane. The three, 93, 94, 95, 96, so four before that were insane. But this kind of just shows where him and the next person had come in their career.
Yeah.
To see him skating against the likes of Arte Sari, Eric Costin, Margera. I mean, Justin Strubin, Paul McNow, who was killing it there actually. And everybody else, and Carl as well skated there.
Who's this guy? Look at that. Fresh-faced.
Bring chicken.
Wow. Amazing.
Wasn't expecting
that. I mean,
you weren't.
We know they're sort of, and they're still, both of them, still killing it today, still skating hard.
Yeah.
And I mean, me and Carl went to the first Radlands comp, British comp, 93. Picked him up, we drove there in the evening, nearly ran over Chris Markovich in the car park.
Amazing. As you do.
Yeah, as you do. It was getting a bit dusk, a bit dark. But to see him, 6 years later, skating in it, holding his own.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you remember your run, Carl?
Yeah, that was probably the worst experience of my life, I think.
Nice. Tell us more.
Yeah, cheers, Rich, bring that
up. Yeah, basically, I just got on Globe around that time. And Pritchard was like, yeah, we'll meet you at Radlands, all good. I was like, oh, cool. Didn't think I had to buy a ticket. So I was like, yeah, I'll head up there. Like, hard week's work, drive up there, get there. See Mark Channer, and he's like, oh, sick, I see you're entering. And I'm like, what? Yeah, you're in the list. I was like, what the fuck? And basically, they'd run out of tickets, so Globe had to pay loads of money for me to enter.
Oh, shit.
Oh, mate.
And pressure.
And I don't, well, especially at that point, I didn't skate parks. I don't think I've skated a skate park for probably 5 years. And I hate skating in front of people that I don't know generally. But yeah, so got there Friday night, whatever, got drunk, ended up partying, staying up till like, I don't know, 5, 6 in the morning.
That's what you need for a comp run.
Good preparation, Carl. Well done.
Yeah. And then I turned up the next day, and I saw I was in the first group, and like literally had 15 minutes to get ready to skate.
Bust out.
So I was like, all right, I'll go skate the mini ramp in the back, whatever, get a few things down. And then Jeff Rowley was skating the mini ramp. So
you don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't need that in your life, do you?
Yeah. So that kind of put me off a bit.
Yeah.
Whatever. All good. Comp starts, a few riders before me. And then I think Rodrigo TX might have been the person before me.
Oh my God.
Right.
So, literally, like.
Good luck.
Did he land everything in front of you or something like that?
Yeah, he landed everything. Everyone was going crazy. And then, they called my name. So I started my run, and then I was like halfway through my run, and they're still calling my name out. Like I think I dropped in somewhere in the corner. And they hadn't noticed.
Shit.
So.
Oh, Jesus.
I think I landed a couple of things, but that was about it.
Down the down rail.
Rich, you remember it?
Yeah. On that down rail, there's like a long rail and then a down rail. I know he back 50'd and crooked down it.
Sick.
Might have back 5'd. I can't remember. But yeah.
Yeah, it's
all done good. To get there, I mean, just to get there, that's kind of, I know.
Yeah, that's mad.
That is mad, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Skating in the comp, like you said, with Coston, Rodrigo TX is the guy before you. Like, shit.
I mean, the other people over there, you got Andrew Reynolds.
Yeah, it was a big crowd that 99, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Getz, Kerry Getz was there.
Kerry Getz,
yeah, killing it as well. Getz
Kareem,
the infamous Kareem, Nolly, Hard Reaver.
Karen was there.
Was that time?
the Ghetto Bird.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Joe Binks? Joe Binks?
Running Ghetto Birds all the way.
Karen Binks.
Karen Binks.
I mean, same with Frank skating there as well. And if I remember rightly, he only missed the cut by a couple of points.
Really? What, to go to the semis?
Either to get through the semis or something. It was like 2 points.
Oh, wow.
I think there was 2 guys, 2 English skaters. Could have been Joel Curtis. I can't remember. Who were literally missed it by 1 or 2 points in cut. And you're just like, dudes, you just... you missed the cut.
But both Frank and Carl, they're not
totally
like...
sick.
But they're not like public skaters. Like Carl said, you both struggle like to skate in front of a massive crowd like that. That's nuts, isn't it?
I think anyone would, regardless. Especially British. British is obviously when no one's used to that. Maybe these days, but then it was like unheard of, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of pressure.
Brilliant.
Did you feel the pressure, Carl?
Yeah, still do.
No, he felt sick.
Still.
Did you puke? Did you puke with nerves or not? No puke.
Nah.
Oh, I would have yacked in
Not
the
that
corner. I would be that guy just yakking in the corner. No way.
Just Ralphing everywhere.
Just Ralph. Midway through my run, just start crying.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rad. So
bad times.
Yeah, definitely. So Artie, why would you class then this situation as local legendary then?
It's just seeing two guys, 2 of my mates who I'm still friends with and been friends with them for like 8 years, 9 years. Suddenly you're like, there they are on the world. It's kind of like, they built themselves up. They skated and they got there through sponsorship, and that's why they're still skating and still recognised today.
Brilliant.
I think.
And I thought, to me personally, this was not a pivotal moment, but something you look back and go, my dudes, my boys.
It's
definitely I'm going to well up.
It's one for the grandkids, isn't it? It's you're going to tell people about this shit. You know, it's not like, I used to skateboard. It's like I skateboarded in '99 in one of the biggest British competitions. You know what I mean? On record. So like that is really, it is phenomenal, really.
Yeah, because there's loads obviously can be said about Carl and Frank before that through the mid-90s and beyond. But personally for me, this is what made them. Not made them, but made.
But in your eyes, I think that's the thing, is that legendary status is subjective as well, isn't it? Like we could all agree that certain people are legends and certain people aren't legends and all this kind of stuff. But it is subjective. It's about a time and a place. It's about, like I say, that nostalgia, isn't it? You're looking back on this fondly and saying, for me, this is it. This is the moment. Other people, we're all in agreement because this is epic, but also for you, it really holds dear that kind of legendary status, doesn't it?
So, and plus just the time. A lot of things started to change. '99. I mean, Carl obviously moved. And skating, I think after then, skating just kind of dipped a little bit.
I thought you were going to say died then. I was like, we'd probably all agree then.
But and then I think there was not so much. Radlands was sort of coming to the end, and then it took a few years, and I guess then you got stuff like, what was that? Obviously Naz started a few years after that.
End of an era, definitely.
Not quite the same, though, is it?
No,
but and plus, I mean, you know, the names who were at 99 Radlands, and you go back and you watched Diego Bucheri, who won it. I mean, his run was just
nuts, wasn't it? It was crazy.
It was just nuts.
I can't remember if I was at this one. I think I was at this one, but I can't remember. Sand, you were there though, weren't you?
Yeah, I went to this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think I'd already moved back from Northampton by then.
I'm sure
I
went to this. I'm sure I went to this.
I think that's the last time I saw Turner. Like Turner was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Turner, is this the year that he's shooting a photo? No, it's not the Penny year, is it? Penny wasn't here, was it, for this one?
That was before.
I don't think he was.
I think it's before that.
No.
Oh, right. Was there? Are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't like a? I'm not trying to think.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
Nah. Rowling was definitely.
Yeah, Rowling's there. I remember that.
And Arto repping Flip.
Oh yeah.
Mariano.
Oh shit, Mariano! Big full action demo.
Yeah. Mondon had a bit of an episode with Mariano.
Oh yes.
I don't want to get into that, but like,
what? You can't start a story, Carl, and then just not. Yeah, we can't. You can't bait us with that story.
Week 13, Mondon Mariano.
Okay. We'll come back to the Mondon Chronicles. It's going to be a whole episode, just like different stories from around the world.
The Ezev after party was off the charts.
Yeah.
I want to know about how you almost killed Markovic. That's the thing.
Well, he was skating as fast as a car, as he always does, and then you hit him.
Nice.
Well, you remember when you used to go to Radlands, there'd be a bit of a slope and it curved up into the car park by the trusty yellow van.
Oh, you killed him with that?
It was like gone 9 o'clock, so it was getting a bit dusk, and he'd obviously been skating and was knackered and was literally laying in the middle of the car park. And I sort of, gates are open, hooned it up the hill. There's like cars like, Markovic is laying down there, you nearly run him over.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to kill Markovic. You don't want to be that guy.
Not a rival.
What a great comp. My two best friends skated really well, but I killed Markovic.
Sadly, I killed Markovic. Different year though, different year.
Yeah,
that was the first year when we nearly took him out. 93.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
If you're watching this, Chris, sorry.
Does watch it every week.
Yeah, Chris, Markovic does tune in every week. He's always messaging. So I can't get rid of the guy.
We will run you over. We will.
Yeah.
We'll find you, Markovic.
We will
happen.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Chris
Markovic, yeah. Oh, wow. Well, I don't know how
good shout.
Good shout. I don't know how we're going to top that one, definitely.
Yeah.
No.
That's amazing.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
I didn't know you skated, nice.
Nice.
Well, Arto Sari's my dad. This is my clip.
That's how you one up, isn't it? I'm related to. Who hasn't been then? Who hasn't been? Oh, Veron, you haven't been. Yeah, let's do yours.
Me, Juna.
Been.
You haven't been
anywhere. Been locked down, mate. I haven't been anywhere.
I'm going to bring up your clip. Oh, Jesus Christ. Just got it blasting my ears.
That clip. That's a different clip.
No. We can't. He's definitely a local legend, but we can't talk about him too much. So.
No.
There we go. Sorry, I have to do technical.
A lot of editing, Dave.
Well,
yeah.
It's going to be a lot of editing.
Yeah.
This episode.
Who knows?
There you go. Okay, Baron, go for it.
Yeah. So before we even, some people might not even know who he is, but I was skating. This video is 2008, so I'm guessing this is not far before. But Steve Bailey was a little kid I'd never met.
He's not dead.
Formerly known as.
Formerly known as. But I just happened to bump into him. I didn't know him through anyone. Me, Junior, I think, and Ben Butler were skating Ipswich a lot.
Yeah.
And we just always saw him and the other skinny guy. Can't remember his name.
That dude's going to be bummed. He didn't make
status. He's going to be bummed, yeah.
You can't remember his name.
Skinny Pete. They used to just turn up, and we just used to see Steve in particular just kill it. And before, like I say, we knew, and then we started talking to him, realised Sudbury, and then realised we both knew Sandy, etc., and it moved on. Shannon went on for everyone, but this kid was just from day one. I don't know if anyone's seen any different footage or Steve's, but he just had this style. From day one.
Yeah.
There was nothing different that I remember from him. Look, even that first nollie. So I'll get into the spot in a second, but just for a kid that young and like you say, he was actually a short guy as well. Just to give this Steez
he was a little guy, wasn't he? He was a little.
Yeah, it's just
guy.
It was one of those, and he wasn't. He never hit this skate park Grom era. He was just literally there. Sandy may have different stories because obviously you saw him a lot more at Sudbury Park.
Yeah.
But for me, when he used to come over to Colchester and film in the era of This Is Never Forever, and London's got some clips of him as well, and even the Sardinia trip for the Harmony trip.
Yeah.
Where that for me, he really did well in. But this spot alone,
he killed it.
Yeah,
It,
brilliant. Yeah. But for this spot, so this I say spot. That's just that's a Roman wall which has been slightly modified.
Modified Roman wall. For those who don't know, Colchester is Britain's oldest recorded town, Roman town.
Exactly. So everyone's in Colchester looked at that and thought, "Oh my God, that's a drop down to another drop down to a bank."
No one's looked at that. No one's looked at that.
No, you stepped up at 2 meters closer. You're like, "No, it's not. Let's go." No, it's not. So, like, for him to get that nollie, and it's a proper pops nollie, land instantly into the position, and then just nollie heel and somehow avoid that. This trick was always one that just sort of stayed in my mind because I never got a trick on it. I know, Dave, you did. You got drop down nollie shove on it.
Yeah, but that was I remember skating it first, and kind of then I took Branny to it to shoot a photo like ages ago. And he was like, "Dave, this is not a spot. There's no feature there to photograph. It's just a fucking weird wall. What are you going to do?" And I was like, "Okay, well, we'll work something out. Something will happen." And then I took Russ there to film something, and then Russ was like, "This is also not a spot, Dave.
Yeah.
Why are you taking me to this?" And I remember just sanding my face off down the slopes like numerous times until I scummed out some little trick. And then you see footage of Bailey doing this, and you're just like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Because anyone knows to nollie up something, you have to add speed.
Yeah, definitely.
So when you've got two nollie tricks on a spot that is that close together, it's probably, I'd say this middle bit here is 2.5, maybe 3 board lengths. So with that bit of speed, it's not a lot. So it's,
Sam, you said something about this, didn't you, in terms of foot placement?
Yeah, the way he lands in it, for a start, I mean, anyone over 5 stone would just snap their nose off. He lands in the foot placement like perfectly.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It starts out so nicely, and I remember that
adjustment.
I remember that he left such an impact on. We used to go up to Ipswich Skate Park in the evenings, didn't we? And it would just be him and his mate and the 3 of us. Most times we'd be out there for like 2 hours, right before the lights went out. Yeah. And he was the nicest kid. He was just like the most polite,
super mellow,
happy, mellow kid.
Definitely.
I was so glad when he was like coming to skate with us all of a sudden. Then all of a sudden he had like a full part and Russ's video. It's so good.
He pushed a lot of people as well, because I'm sure Sandy will tell you this. He progressed so fast.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like the speed was crazy. Like he was super grommy in the beginning, wasn't he? Like early days. And
but I don't ever remember him having that sort of kid style.
No, never.
I just remember him being like solid and and
he
just
like and the trick
like
selection,
minimal foot movement, just like you say, landing correctly and
good trick selection. Did a lot of nose
good trick selection.
Brilliant.
Just didn't have that kid style that some do, and
he was such a nervous little kid as well, because I don't know, Sam, if you remember this, but there was one, I think was just at the start when we started to talk to him at Ipswich Park. One of our boards flew off into his ankle, the back of the Achilles heel, and everyone knows how much that hurts. And he was just like, and he's like, "No worries,
it's fine. Have your board back."
Limped home and went to A&E, but he was just so nice.
So nice about it.
And he's super nice.
Hallmark of manners.
In a weird way, but that's actually, I think, what got us talking, and then it went on from there, and then all of a sudden he's riding for Harmony, flowing with them, and then the Sardinia trip was, like I say, that's where. Do you remember, Dave, driving to the airport? No, you picked me up. You'd already picked Steve up in Sudbury.
Yeah.
And you go, and as a joke, you go, "Have you got your passports?" Steve went,
"Shit, yeah."
And this was God knows it. Yeah, Monza. Maybe you were driving. I don't know. Someone was driving.
Me,
yeah. And
I remember the story.
We'd drive back to Colchester Station. We'd already driven out of Colchester after picking him up in Sudbury, and his mum in the middle of the night had come and dropped off his passport or stayed in the car park. And because he was God knows how young.
He was young, wasn't he? He was young,
and he had fuck all money, and he was eating tomato ketchup and bread in Sardinia, and it was just yeah. I mean,
but skated every day though.
Smashed it completely. Like these smooth marble spots in Sardinia, he was like wow, and he was just like doing the sickest sort of nice simple tricks, but like sparse, smooth. Got some brilliant stuff there.
Everyone was like totally blown away by him as well. I think that is where legends appear from. It's like the Dan Macaulay thing that Carl was saying. Is these kids just come out of nowhere, absolutely smash it for a few years, and Steve's now a successful artist living in Australia. He probably doesn't skate like this anymore, at least, but he probably still pushes around. I know he's interested in it, but just to have that impact on the scene, I remember Sandy and I just being like blown away by this kid, like fucking hell, he's just so good and so quick, like
he straight away knew he had it.
Yeah, that's true. This section for him was probably his biggest part, as far as I know, and it's really good. So anyone who hasn't seen that, Never Forever.
We'll put it out there. We'll put it out there. I mean, we do want to. I think we should do an episode with Steve anyway, just because he's a ripper.
Yeah,
it's just definitely. Rad, but I don't know how into that he'd be, but it'd be rad to see him. Just like because he's just, and like I was saying earlier on the chat that he's so. There's no pretense to what he's doing. It's not forcing a trick out. He's not like trying to impose a style on it. It's like, this is just how I skate. And it happens to be very on trend and very kind of like visually
pleasing
aesthetic.
To the eye.
Exactly, very pleasing to the eye and the way it moves. And this is only one trick, or one set of tricks, but it was never put on. It was never like controlled. He'd always be like, when you're talking about a video party, be like, what's that? Do you know what I mean? He just hadn't seen stuff or do you know what I mean? Wasn't aware of what he was doing. Like,
it's a good show.
Is he from Sudbury then? Oh.
Yeah, Sudbury kid, but and
he moved from Australia. He'd come from Australia.
Yeah. And then he obviously went to Ipswich a lot. I don't know, as maybe Sandy was part of that telling about that, but he was always in Ipswich when me and Juna and Ben were there. And then I don't know if he went to Colchester much before that until we started saying come to Colchester because we've got these spots, and that's when a lot of this.
We've got this spot. We've got this
Roman wall.
Watch out, Steve. We've got this
Roman wall.
2,000-year-old spot.
Yeah.
He makes the spot look good. It makes me want to.
He does.
I probably don't want to. But.
No, you don't, Carl. You definitely. There's nothing there for you, Carl. Don't go visit it. It's not there.
That's good. But he was good and a lovely kid to finish it off. He was a lovely kid. That's the sort of nail in the coffin of a good local skater. Is you wanted to skate with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
You wanted him on the session for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Rad. Cool. Duna, is it just you left?
Me and Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. All right. We'll go to Juna. We'll go to Juna now, and I'll just because Juna's got another Colchester legend to talk about.
Yeah.
In a similar way.
Along the same lines as Carl's pick of Dan is sort of short-lived, just absolute. Well, it's two of them really. It's Steve and Jim Whitnell, brothers. I didn't even really know them that well at the time, but Varen was good friends with them, went to school with them.
Yeah.
And it was like Jim was really gnarly. Jim would skate really fast. He could do anything down that handrail at any speed he wanted. And Steve just had the ability to do literally any trick you can imagine and do it with. He'd always ride away just as quick as he was going into it. Anything would just like fall under his feet. Everything was bolts. He was just so stylish, and he just didn't care. Like he was so relaxed and so unassuming.
I don't know how he was that relaxed.
I don't. Even though he's one of my best friends, I don't, because I haven't seen this footage in 10 years.
So
I can't believe how stylish a kid of, he's probably 16 here, I'd guess, roughly.
Younger than that. Look how small you
Yeah,
are.
younger actually. Yeah, I'm a little, that little Hampton. Just
You're like 13, 14 in this footage.
13 months more like, look at me.
Yeah, exactly. like an actual baby, like coming out of the corner. Watch.
Yeah.
Mama.
Just been born.
Yeah, literally. Fetus.
And I just remember going to Colchester Skate Park, and these are like the guys. It was Steve, Jim, and Varen, and they were so good, so young.
Yeah.
And of course, they knew the older guy like Dave. They knew you well and stuff, and you hooked them up and things. And it was so cool. And I didn't really know you guys that well. And I said this earlier. We were just basically on nodding terms. I'd turn up. We'd sort of keep our distance.
Strict nodding terms, it was.
It was
very
like
strict.
Silent sort of.
Nods,
like competitiveness there, but it wasn't.
A little bit. Come on, Sam. Come on, own it.
Full on rage within. But Steve, Steve in particular, he could just basically do. He could do all the tricks that I wanted to do, like
exactly
kickflip, backside tail slide, pretty much without even looking at his ball.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
I don't get it. It's amazing.
Really,
I didn't understand it. There was a few years where I was like, he had that grommy kid kind of style.
Yeah.
And I mean, Varen, you won't mind me saying, all kids when you're young, you have that little grommy style.
Absolutely. But he didn't.
Then one summer, it was literally one summer, because we'd skated together for a couple of years. Then one summer, he just went fucking ballistic and everything was bolts.
I know when that was, because
everything was popped so much higher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're just like, oh shit. It was this summer. This is the summer where he went.
Yeah, so I got on Hoax probably a few months before this, and then got on. Jesus. Whoa, watch out!
Got on.
But then we got Steve on, and he literally went, and it was just like sort of like all of a sudden, shit, he can got the extra confidence, and oh my god, this was just, because that's just a tray flip. That is not just a tray flip back then, because he and that park. It was just so good to see him just absolutely kill it. And then not only can he do the big tray flips and like big kick flips, he'll do technical stuff like Juna says and just do the big flips and whatever, back tails, Smith flip out.
He did I remember he just first tried, did a kick flip nose wheelie, nollie heel out on the box. Just like, how have you got that? I've never seen you do a nollie heel.
I remember seeing, those types of skaters where you look around and you're there and you look at the reactions of other kids his age.
Yeah.
They were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a little kid, 13, 14. I'm learning how to ollie, maybe do my kick flip, maybe get my pop shove-its going. This kid is fucking nailing because, do you know what I mean? I was 25, 26, however old I was, old dude, just looking at this kid thinking, oh, I need to turn this in. This is done. Do you know what I mean? This is dead. This kid is just so good. Like, what's the point?
Brilliant.
And I think that is another legendary kind of status. Is not necessarily making you want to give up because they're that good. But that motivation to just think, these kids need help, they need nurturing, they need that support. They also look at the impact they're having on those around them. That kind of, again, that vicarious impact. Like all those kids at that skate park. And at the time, Colchester Skate Park was a shithole, but lots of kids went there, didn't they? Lots of kids went into skating at that time.
Sunday skate there was busy, and I always remember turning up. These three guys were there. You had a bigger crew as well, and they were pretty good as well, like Jed and Josh and stuff. You could do lots of tricks. And I just remember seeing you guys skating. I was like, right, I'm going to have to get better. I'm going to have to get much better to actually go and do a trick on one of these things that they're doing. And I just raised my game because of that. And
you went to your secret TF, didn't you?
Absolutely. I built
in Dedham.
In Dedham, the secret TF. Me and Sandy were talking about that. Invite only, wasn't it?
Yeah, I never got
no invite. Just
we never got an invite. That's why the tape went in the bin, mate. Just remember that.
Why do you think when Steve quit, I got with Juna?
That free TF, that TF treatment.
What happened to them then?
I can tell you exactly because I was at school with him. Just literally the Grebo era came in, and it was actually uncool to skate.
Yeah, he got caught up.
And me and this kid called Yannick, which a lot of people from Colchester will know, but a lot of people won't, continued skating.
Yeah.
And then he fuck knows where he went, but he just stopped, and they all just stopped. And
he had a kid early as well, didn't he?
So him and his brother both stopped at once.
Yeah, they both.
Jim
Jim stayed on for a bit. Steve, I think, got caught up in that skating's not cool.
Yeah,
kind of
100%. Yeah,
shabby kind of motorbike scene, and then I think he had a kid really early as well. I think he got some girl pregnant really early as well. Yeah. I think worked out really well for him, and ended up being. I think he's a really great dad and all doing all that stuff. I think he just evolved too quickly, possibly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's a shame because he had. I think I mentioned this maybe in the first episode where he was doing the Smith kickflips out on a block before I've even seen him on a video. Like, I didn't even know that it was possible. And same as Gina said, the kickflip nose wheelie nollie heel. He used to do that every time we skated. But I didn't even nose wheelie the thing, let alone kickflipping nollie heel out.
They were quite quiet as well. They're quite
really quiet, really quiet.
Yeah, and that was another thing. Is like that enigmatic thing. You just see them just totally destroy a place. Yet be so unassuming.
Yeah, really unassuming, and would just turn up, and they'd always stand behind. You know, those at skate parks, you get those skate park jockeys who stand in front of all the kids and just like make everyone know it's their park, they own it. Do you know what I mean? And push around like they're the bosses. These kids would stand behind that row of kids you usually get at a skate park. They'd push out from there. Do you know what I mean? They'd just sneak in the background and just murder it, just absolutely destroy the park. So.
Yeah, brilliant. Really good.
Oh,
I mean, obviously, we haven't got any clips of Jim, but he was more of like the gnarly one, as Juna said, and he used to. Because he used to want to skate, and he did try and skate handrails all the time. Not necessarily with the best success, but he always went for it.
And he did always go for it.
I saw him flip feeble that little driveway, but again
as well.
Sorry, say it again.
Jim skated fast as well, didn't he? Like attack.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
but just hated the crowd. Was really nervous. Nervous of people. Didn't like skating in front of people. Yeah. Just like again that. Just timidness, but attacked everything when he skated.
Yeah,
so, it's
brilliant.
It's rad.
Yeah,
cool. Thanks, Sam, for bringing that up.
Like it.
Good choice.
Good choice. Definitely a good choice. So, Mondo, is it you left to go?
Yeah.
He's picked himself.
Yeah.
he's gonna show his Duff's promo finally.
Next hour is dedicated to me.
Yeah.
Right. Sit back. Enjoy.
Sit back. Lock in. It's time.
Yes. I know who it is already.
Yeah.
Are you excited? You're excited. We're going to just play this in the background. Ads, go for it, brother.
Okay. So this is Julian Sharp. And he was pretty major in the Ipswich scene. And I picked him because there's a lot of people that were amazing on the Ipswich scene, more than any other scene that I've known. But Julian was a bit on the outer rims, I think. He wasn't quite, did he ever get sponsored, Carl?
He was on Rude for about 5 minutes, but I don't think he liked being sponsored. So.
No, it wasn't really it wasn't his thing. Like, not everyone's, cut out for that. But he seemed a bit mythical, Julian. I don't know. He was
definitely mythical.
And it was a point in skateboarding where new tricks were coming out a lot, a lot of switch stuff that was coming out that you hadn't really seen people do. Just seen them on videos, and Julian was just someone that just seemed to learn just so quickly. Like we're saying, you get one of those people that just absolutely smash it, and every week they're coming out with something new. And with Fison's being there as well, he's just come down and absolutely destroy it, First person I ever saw do straight flip.
Switch hard flip like that the proper way, just nuts.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then like back when the start, back nollie up Fison's block.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Oh shit! Yeah, you used to do that.
But is he older, Carl? Than...
Yeah, I think.
What the fuck? That is brilliant.
Yeah, I think he's like 2 years older than me, so he'd be like 47 now. So yeah, he was a little bit ahead, but
this line at Shell was nuts as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just, I don't know, he was just so good. I don't know. Is it this section everything's like switch and nollie? But I don't think he planned it that way.
Just the way he just advanced, it was just like nuts. like you just see something new. Yeah, like I said, every
So
week.
is this Tough Guys or Kaboom?
This is Tough Guys.
Yeah. So this is like 25 years old.
Wow.
Damn.
So
That's
like,
crazy, isn't it?
No way.
It's
Switch
nuts.
flip
That
and
switch
over
flip
that as
over
well.
that is just
Yeah.
crazy. Nollie
Like that.
hard flip.
Nollie
manual.
hard flip manual, you know. No one was, hardly anyone was doing nollie hard flips then.
But switch hard flip like the proper way as well. No illusion there at all. Just like proper like fucking. And this line, it's amazing.
And switch trade Fison's. It's in Kaboom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. You know? And
Straight after a shift at work.
Yeah. Was it Postman, wasn't it?
Yeah, he still had his Real Mail shirt on.
I do.
Really? That's amazing.
That
It just
switch
seems a
hard
bit-
flip at the end of that Cromwell line is like his foot position is unreal, but it's so nice.
Yeah. Just
Where's this spot?
What?
Where is this spot?
No one knows. Secret spot.
It's still secret.
He just Julian seemed a bit mythical. I don't know if he always out with us guys like all the time. He just seemed a bit sort of.
Well, just turn up. I remember him just turning up randomly, and just people then started whispering. From an outsider looking in. I remember going to Fison's a couple of times, and everyone would just be skating, chilling, all be nice, and then Julian would turn up, and people would start whispering, and then he'd just do something fucking insane. And I'd be like, "What? I missed it, total grom." Just like, "What's happening? He just did that." And yeah, he had definitely that legendary kind of status even then, early on.
Yeah, he was the first person with a video camera, so like a lot of the old stuff was just him filming. So.
Oh really? What, Kaboom and that?
Before that, way before that.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember he had a bright orange New Balance backpack with his 800 quid camera in or whatever.
Amazing.
In 1990.
Because that was the thing. Like, I guess he made pretty good money being a postman and that. He always seemed to have like new stuff, like amazing stuff. New boards, new shoes and that. You know, just
it's funny because me, him, and Wilson worked in the chicken factory together once. And it was when Brian Page had changed, and we could tell them what we wanted to get in, and they'd get it all ordered in, and we'd go in on a Friday and buy a load of stuff.
Yeah.
And we'd start early on, so we'd finish 2:00, so we'd have afternoons free to skate. So we'd always be skating, and he was always, I don't know, always had the pop, whatever the distance, you know. He's the funniest dude as well.
Good character.
Yeah,
great music choice for the section as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a shame we can't hear the music.
So good. But had you known him quite a long time, Carl? Before I sort of came down on the.
Probably known him since 89, 90, probably.
Right, okay.
So a while, but yeah, he was always there. Like him, Dan, and this other guy, Sean Biggs or Sean Briggs.
Right.
They were all just really good at everything, you know.
Yeah.
Why does he
never sort of chase the sponsorship dream, did he, at all, really?
Nah. Yeah, I don't know if it was because he was a little bit old and kind of over it a bit. Because till there was a few people sponsored before, but till mid-90s, there wasn't that many sponsored UK street skaters. Yeah. So maybe...
That's it. I can't remember when he started fading out from the scene. He just sort of...
Yeah, it's probably...
I can't remember dates at all.
Yeah, probably a couple of years after this or something. But
Yeah,
probably 97, 98.
And did he just quit, or did he move away? I can't remember the timeline of it. Because he moved to Harlow or something, did you say?
Yeah, that was a little bit afterwards.
Right, okay.
He started skating again when the park got built.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, when the Ipswich Park got built,
he
was skating again. Pretty much kind of on his own during the day.
Right.
When the schools were in.
Yeah.
So there's no one there. And maybe every once in a while you sneakily catch him down there.
Legend. That's the legendary status, the sneaky sighting.
And he'd still be doing everything on the flat banks. You know.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know, switch flips, switch shove-its, nollie flips. And then he'd sort of be like, half an hour later, he's disappeared. You know, I'd stand out for the sesh. And he's just gone.
Yeah, like to do his own thing, I guess.
The enigma.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely a kind of concurrent a quality that runs throughout all of them. Is that enigma, isn't it? Is that kind of
Yeah.
It was like the first. It was the first one with a car in Ipswich as well.
Oh shit! What did he have, Marty? It was that fucking Mark
Escort.
1 or Mark 3 Escort with the fucking proper Essex Gary boy fucking.
Nice.
That was done well in Harlow, that.
That's it. That's why he moved there. Ready for that scene.
We went back to his parents' house. Carl must have been in the car. I mean, there was everybody. There's people in the boot. There's some. What was it? There was a video
party. Was it a party?
No, we went back and watched. There's a video come out, and Julian used to buy all the videos, all the skate videos. He'd get them first, so we'd either go round his house because he did live in town near Halfords.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if this was before or after, but we bundled back to his parents' house in his car, and I swear there must have been 11 in the car. There's people in the boot, and people like lying down on people's laps along the back seat.
God.
And I can't remember. It could have been Plan B.
Yeah, it was first Plan B.
It was the first Plan B.
Questionable.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And yeah, bundled back in this one car.
It's got that questionable vibe to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And that section and his Kaboom section as well is just amazing. So much good stuff in it.
Yeah, you can see the progress he made. Well, everybody made in them videos, but him definitely. I mean,
that's what I mean. There's so many good, amazing people on the Ipswich scene, and he just sort of was just
I think that's the thing.
Way. It's just amazing.
Doing his own thing, doing it in its own stylish kind of way. And like I say, you've always got those typical characters in a scene that are kind of documented. There's little bits of stuff like, if you think about those Ipswich videos, there's more footage of definitely everyone else, isn't there?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And he's got these little kind of nuggets in there. I think you'd say the same for Sam Wright. Is the same. You see little bits of footage of him over the year. Do you know what I mean? Bailey only having one section. Do you know what I mean? They're these aloof characters who have these little bits of history dotted around that people fondly remember, but you have to kind of keep sharing those stories. And I think that's the thing that makes a legend, is the sharing of those stories. Like I said,
Julian got named Mr. Half-Nab.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that.
The Nab, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
Mr. Nab, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Andy McNab.
Was it Sidewalk who did it? I don't know if it's Ben Powell who did it, and because he had the sequence.
Yeah, Mr. Nab, I think they called him, but yeah. But yeah, like he switched 180, half-nabbed up like Fison's indoor steps. I don't think anyone ollied up them, but like he switched 180'd and that big gate, the barrier, like he switched 180'd that, and it's like waist height, and he did that like 25 years ago. It's like.
But that's it. That's the thing, is that you're still now, Carl. You've got that in your head. That's there, and it's probably still providing inspiration 25 years later. Do you know what I mean? That again makes that legendary thing. If you've got Sam going up vertical walls, and every time I drive past it, I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? And you're probably the same. You're thinking, how did he half-nab up or switch 180 up Fison's steps? How's that possible?
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I mean?
At the time as well, like if you were tech skate, he didn't really have that much, but he kind of had everything, you know, like he could, you know, like nollie hard, flip manuals, whatever, switch hards, but like he'd, you know, like the big like 6 at the front of Fison's, like he'd nollie that and clear it by like 4.
Yeah, that's gnarly. Yeah, and then chuck himself down Castle Hill Gap as well.
Yeah,
Castle Hill. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Halifax. Chucked himself down there in one of the videos as well.
Yeah, but he always, it was kind of the Ipswich thing. Like everyone kind of jumped down some big stuff, even if you weren't really into it. But Julian always.
You had to. Initiation.
He had a mean nollie 1-foot tail grab. He could do those. He didn't down Crown Pools.
Nollie 1-foot tail grab.
Yeah, proper grab, front foot nollie. And that was on, I'll tell you what board it was on. H Street Alfonso Rules, you know, the Adidas.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Good memory, well done.
Wow.
You know it's legendary when you remember the exact setup they had as well. That's when you know that's burnt into your memory, that one, definitely.
NMBs.
And NSKs. No,
Dave,
yeah.
That footage of Whitnell from Juna's pick, did that ever get published? Because I've seen the footage, but where have I seen it? Was it ever? It wasn't, was it?
No, it was never a video. I'll put it online. At some point.
Because I think we had it because I think you burnt us a VHS of it, but I don't think I ever. Yeah.
new way to transfer information. Burn onto VHS.
Hi, our modern. No, but I never. I don't know what we were filming for, but we had some good footage, and it just never did anything with it, did we?
We weren't filming for anything. Just to be there. Just to be there.
In the bin.
Just go to good.
Put it straight in the bin.
In the bin. I like it. Next video.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to call time there, folks. Excellent episode. I think we've all kind of agreed that the legend is about that enigma. It's about that nostalgia. It's about remembering all those good times. And I think all the people we chose tonight really bring that together. So thank you for joining us. And hopefully we'll see you all next week.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Take care. See you later. Bye.